So, good morning, boys and girls. It's Grandpa Chris here this morning down at the fabled Avington trout fishery. Still just a little bit dark. Just waiting for Mandy or Margaret to open up. So let's just go and have a little look at the river Ching. Just as a little intro. Well, I left my house just before 5 this morning. Had a lovely easy run through. Used the North Circular around London rather than the M25 because that was shut in places. Stopped for a bit of breakfast at Fleet. Had half an hour or so there. Got in here about 15 minutes ago. It's just coming up to 7:30 now. It's a beautiful part of the world at this time of day. The river looks to be quite high this morning. Plenty of water flowing through. It's such a beautiful setting. Anyway, we're going to have a little bit of a dabble here today. I'm going to use my 9'6" 5-weight bloke rod created for me by the ever-growing legend that is Andy Banting. I've got the Reed River 7-weight line on it, and I'm going to put up a little red and silver-bodied stalking bug and see what we can have a look for. Looking at the ponds, you can see some fish in there, but it is still dark. So anyway, I'll come back to you in a little while. Yeah, standing here beside the river, fishing a family of swans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cygnets. Mum and Dad. Just south of the little weir. Just an absolutely idyllic scene. A little one there lost concentration and went off with the flow. There's quite a current flowing through there. Those cygnets are having to paddle quite hard. A decent brown trout just jumped underneath the tree, just over there. I'd love to cast a line in that. It's hallowed waters, you're not allowed to. Okay, boys and girls, a very good morning to you. Ticket paid over. Now walking down towards the first of the lakes. Have a little look around there. They've done so much work here, they really have. It looks amazing. Just walking alongside Lake 1 at the moment. There was nothing over in the inlet worth having a dabble at. A couple of small ones. And one very small one which had a snatch, but I pulled it away. It's a little bit difficult to see into the water at the moment. It's still very early in the morning, very low light conditions. So I'll come right to the far end of Lake 2. Casting out towards the big alder tree. So I've come underneath the alder, I'm onto an indicator. Very, very difficult to see the indicator. I might have to double up on the foam or put a bigger indicator on. Fish on. Couldn't see the indicator, but the line shot away. The line just shot away. Try and get him out from underneath these bushes. Fight him in clearer water. He's actually feeling like got a nice fish. I have my suspicions he may be a brown. He may be a brown. He's a brown, and if he's under 10 pounds I'm allowed to keep him, and my brothers, my friends, that's not 10 pounds, that's about 6. Fabulous. I'll come back to you in a moment. So just weighed him and he is just on the 6 pound mark, and he took the orange egg underneath the bung. So that's what he took, about 18 inches, 2 feet below a bung, underneath the alder. Wonderful start to the day. Let's get him onto the pegs and go back for another one. Okay, sure he's pegged, and down he goes. Okay, fish number 1 of the day. What a way to start the day. I'm going to re-rig and I'm going to put a bigger indicator on. So back underneath again. I've put a ball indicator on now as opposed to a foam one. Hopefully that'll make a bit of a difference. I can definitely see it now. I'm going to change it to a tequila egg. Boys and girls, this is the rig. You have the little ball indicator and you have the tequila egg, which I'm going to put out. So I have another fish on, and it's another brown. I saw him come past me, pulled it towards him, and he's immediately sucked it in. No, it's a rainbow. It's a rainbow. So let's again try to steer him out from underneath the tree to where my net is. Quite honestly, that looked like a brown. Don't go in there. You seem quite lethargic this morning. Slip the long handled net underneath him, and we bring him in, and he's another very decent fish. There's another fish of £5. There you have him, boys and girls. Fish of easily £5. And you can see the egg right in his mouth there. Barbless hook just pops out. So we're going to put him on the stringer. What a lovely day. What a lovely way to start the day. We're fishing for about 40 minutes. And I have these two little beauties. Let's look at that. Right. Okay, so put them on the hook and put them out a little bit further and let them cool down. So, how about that? So what's the time? The time is 17 minutes past 9. Sun coming up, shining gloriously in front of me, and I have maybe 3.5 feet in length of fish, nose to nose, on the pegs in the water. And that's truly wonderful. Got the fly in the perfect place. Let's just hope that it's a big brown. You can see its wonderful markings. And there's another one down there. I think I'm going to have to go quite a lot deeper for that one. He's turning round towards it. Come on, please, suck it in. Suck it in, come on. Suck it in. Doesn't seem to want the white. So come out from underneath the tree. Had enough of that crap. Have one or two little casts with this thing underneath here, then I'm going to go back onto maybe a blue flash damsel or something like that. Good morning. Had a nice brown and a nice rainbow from underneath there, but it's just about impossible under there now with all the leaves coming down on top. I've had nothing pulling. They've both been underneath on an egg.
Well, good luck.
Thank you, and you, and you. Right, change of tactics. I've gone on to a cat's whisker with a red face on it. I'm now casting across in front of that tree where I know those two big browns are. And there's been one or two little splashes as well. So we'll let that sink. Give it a pull to get it to go underneath. We're going to have a cup of tea in a minute. There's been one moving around. Check that the hook hasn't straightened. Oh, there are times when I get frustrated by this beautiful art. There are times when I get frustrated by my own ineptitude. And you know what? I've just put it back up the same tree. Give this a half an hour or so. See if anything is interested in a little chase. Yes, something was interested in a little chase. Just as I paused it there, just to prove the old adage that you always fish your cast right out to the end, he's just taken this on the hang. And the way he's fighting, he might be another brown. He wants to go very deep, and I'm not seeing any flash in the tail. It's hanging very, very deep. He's boring deep and deep and deep. Certainly hanging on. He certainly doesn't like me. Taking line. I'm just holding him there. Not putting too much pressure on him, I'm just letting the rod do the work. And I've just seen some flash on the fins. I hope it's a Spartic. I hope it's a Spartic. I haven't had one in a long time. What have we got here? We've got a lovely rainbow trout. Oh, I'm not sure, to be honest. Could be rainbow. We'll have a look when we're done with him. Be back in a second. So there we go, boys and girls. It's a little rainbow of maybe 3.5 pounds. Very nice. And there's the cat's whisker with a red face in his mouth. Thank you very much indeed. That was great. So we'll get him put on the stringer and kept safe. So there we go, boys and girls. That's what we got so far. That last one was a right-hard fighting fish. Still not convinced it's a rainbow, to be honest. It might be a char, I don't know. I'll have to check on that one. Okay, onwards and upwards. One more to go. You know, one of the joys of fly fishing is you get to carry one of these little things around. And currently it's the home, temporary home, to some Jack Daniel's Tennessee honey whiskey. And I'm going to have a little bit of a slurp. Oh my goodness me. Yeah. It was Martin Williams who introduced me to that. Thank you, Martin. So, just proves the point. If you try to keep it out of the tree, you have a chance of catching a fish. Right, I've caught under this tree before, and I've just seen a couple of very nice fish moving around. for the bow wave. And I've got a fish. Am I recording? Yes, I'm recording. That was lovely. It was lovely. It's a nice rainbow. It's a really nice rainbow. It's a big fat rainbow. And he's come off. So, it's all part of this beautiful sport of ours. But that was a lovely fish. That was a fish of 5 or 6 pounds. So I've moved about 25-30 yards further along. Same sort of scenario, casting alongside an overhanging tree. And there's a big fish following it, and pulled it out of his mouth and then hung up on the grass. It's promising. We've got a wind coming over my shoulder now, which is making casting quite interesting. I could probably get the whole line out now. But since the water has started to sort of move around a bit with the wind, the fish are starting to become a lot more active. And the swan's playing silly buggers. Well, that's going to go right down on his nose. An inch away from his nose. No, he's moved on. It literally touched his nose a couple of times. Okay, so I still need one. So I've come up onto Lake 1 to finish. I'm going to have half an hour or so on here. If I don't have any luck, then I'm just going to get on the motorway. Been a wonderful, wonderful session here at Avington. 3 wonderful fish so far. To start with that brown this morning like that was just wonderful. Okay. So I'll freely admit I'm struggling to get my last fish. I'm really struggling to get my last fish. There we go. Hi guys, it's me again. Just want to sum up the day basically. Awesome fishery, Avington. It really is absolutely awesome. The work that the fishery management team done there is just incredible. Come back to that in a couple of minutes. I ended up with 3 fish. Never did get the last one. I weighed the fish back at the clubhouse, so to speak, and the brown trout actually weighed in at 9.2. The bigger of the rainbows weighed in at 6.4, and the little one weighed in at about 4 pounds. So those electric scales that I got from eBay are basically CRAP, and CRAP gets flushed down the toilet or into the waste bin. I'll treat myself to a decent pair at some stage. Never did get the last one. Lots and lots of casts, lots of fly changes, lots of tactical changes. Tried everywhere. Got lots of follows. I lost that really big one at the net, as you've seen in the video. I think that was probably bigger than the brown was, but I can only go by the tail. The tail was huge. Fun stopped pretty much the moment I got into the car. Tom decided to take me out through Basingstoke and stuck me in the biggest traffic jam that the M25 has seen in years. All was well till we got to Heathrow, and of course the usual afternoon struggles at Heathrow. Got through that and got up towards the A1, and we came to a bit of a standstill. And then BBC Radio 2 traffic bulletin came up and said that there had been a very serious RTC northbound on the M11 between Loughton and the M25. So in order to do the rescue, they shut the entire motorway. Air ambulance came down ×2, ambulances times a lot, and they just shut the road. The traffic build up clockwise, which was the direction I was going in, from Loughton, was back up to the M25 junction and all the way back past Potter's Bar, almost to the A1 junction at South Mims. Now, I don't know how many miles that is, 30 something miles. Anti-clockwise, it was through the Dartford Tunnel and past Junction 3. Northbound on the M11, it was up way past Stansted. So the little bit of knowledge that I have of this area, I cut through Potter's Bar and went out through Northall, down through Cruise Hill, left down Cricketer's Lane. Took an hour to get across the A10 at the traffic lights, Freezy Water. Went through Brimsdown, turned left up over Chingford Hatch. Went pretty well until I got towards Leytonstone, where there had been another fatal RTC, totally separate to the first one, and it was gridlocked. Nothing moving in any direction. So again, using some local knowledge, I went down through lots and lots of little back turns, and finally got home at well after 5 o'clock. I left Avington at 11:07 in the morning. Clutch foot was sore. Arm was sore, bum was sore. Didn't dare pull off at South Mims to go and have a wee. Never would have got back on. Anyway, I've just had the most beautiful chicken tinola meal that my beautiful wife has cooked. I've had a large glass of Punk Dog IPA, and I'm going to have a shower. I'm going to go to bed. I've got to get up at about 6 in the morning to go and unlock the parish, and I'm spending the day painting walls tomorrow. So thank you very, very much indeed, all of you, for taking the time to watch my videos. Please press the like button, and of course if you haven't already subscribed, I'd be very grateful if you did. So until the next one, this is Grandpa Chris signing off. Tight lines, and very happy birthday to the young lad, the 16-year-old lad on his first fishing trip, who caught a brown trout almost as big as mine. New personal best. I forgot to ask their names. So, sorry for that. I know you're going to be watching. I hope you had a very, very happy day, and I hope you got your other fish. So, Grandpa Chris signing off. Tight lines.